Hello everyone and welcome to our live stream today. We're going to be focusing on student life here at DMU. So we're here today to answer any questions that you might have. So please do leave your questions in the comment section that you'll see on the side of the screen there, and we'll come to those throughout the live stream. We're actually joined today by two of our current students who are going to pop up in a minute, and they're going to tell us a little bit more about their experience here at DMU. So first off, we've got Emma.
Hi, I'm Emma. I'm a third year student nurse and I'm studying learning disability.
Hi, I'm Sana. I'm a first year speech and language therapy student.
Great stuff. Thanks for joining us today, guys. Can you tell us a bit about your journey coming into university? What were you doing before university and what made you pick DMU, Sana?
So for me, actually, I came from a different university. I transferred. I started like my university in literally prime time COVID, and I studied linguistics. And just for me, I felt like it wasn't a very good fit for me. I just wasn't really enjoying it. And from one of my modules at my old university, I actually discovered phonetics, and that's such a prime thing in speech and language therapy. So I basically applied and then I transferred and I came here. So that's kind of how I got here. It wasn't really a traditional route of coming straight out of college and just like coming into university from college. It was much of a different process for me. But honestly, I'm so glad I did it. I really enjoy it. So
lovely. And what about yourself, Emma?
Yeah, so I'm a bit the same. I didn't do a traditional route. I'm a mature student. So I was actually working for 10 years before I came to DMU. So while I was working, COVID hit and I couldn't work, and that was because of my own health issues. So I'd been toying with the idea of having a bit of a change. I was in a nice little bubble, and nursing is kind of in my family. I've got my parents who are both mental health nurses. My nan was a mental health nurse. So yeah, it kind of was in the family. So I'd been toying with the idea. So I kind of just applied and made that jump. And so with learning disability nursing, I chose that because my sister's got a learning disability. I've worked in the learning disability field. So it kind of seemed just like the natural jump to nursing and do learning disability.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice how it links in with your family. What made you pick DMU specifically, Emma?
I'm local, so I live in Leicester already, and it just kind of made sense being at DMU. Like I said, my family are nurses, and they actually either studied at DMU or before it was Charles Freers. So I kind of know already the rich history DMU actually have within nursing. So it just made sense to be here. I did look at others, but I was just like, why go afar when I knew about the community, how welcoming it was, how close knit it was. So yeah, it just made sense.
That's good that it came recommended to you. How about you, Sana? What made you pick DMU?
So even the same for me. I'm from Leicester. So honestly, it was like a perfect choice for me. I did also apply to BCU actually, but just generally, just even the campus and just everything that they offer, like the practical, the resources, we have like a whole separate couple of resources rooms for ourselves and for our students who are just speech and language therapy students. I thought it was really nice just to have a space where you can practice, you can learn, and you can have that, you can have access to all those resources, and it's all just there in one campus. So I really like that.
Definitely. Lovely. That's cool. So Sana, it wasn't obviously long ago that you were actually preparing to make the transition to become a student at DMU. How did you go about preparing for university life?
So I obviously already had like kind of an idea of, the process of applying and things, but I definitely say like I recommend all the background admin work that you have to do. It's not just a case of, you're going somewhere and you're learning, but there's so much to it. Like you need to make sure that your timetable's all ready. You have to make sure your ID card, your registration's done. You have to make sure your student finance, if you are doing student finance. If you are moving out, you have to make sure you've got all those forms done and completed at a certain point. So I think it would just be really good and so much easier for you if you just have everything done just by the deadline. So the process of you applying to university and registering when you get to it is just so much more smoother.
That's right. Keeping on top of your organisation definitely is a good point there. How about yourself, Emma? How did you prepare for becoming a student at DMU?
Yeah, I definitely echo that. They're really good points. I prepared by when I was looking around. We obviously didn't have the open days. I did the virtual open days, which were really invaluable. Getting a diary, whether that's a paper copy or if that is an electronic one. So I have quite a few different email accounts, one for like you get one for uni, I've got an NHS one for placement and other bits and bobs, and pulling all those calendars together really helped me organise my time, because obviously my course is quite a long course, so I have not just theory blocks, I have placement blocks, so knowing when I'm on placement, when I'm in uni, I found it just invaluable. But also, if you can't get to the open days, just come and visit the campus, walk around the outside. You'll be able to see the different buildings you might be going to, and just having the campus on one site. I just love it because it's just a 10-minute walk to some of the buildings, and it's quite nice, especially in the summer. It's really nice to walk around.
No, definitely. Yeah, that's a good point. Like, there are lots of different ways of coming onto campus, whether you do it yourself or come to one of our planned events. That's definitely a good thing to remember. And we do actually have a handy student preparation list to help get you started. So some of those things that Sana and Emma have just mentioned are on there, I'm sure. And you can find this list on our Your DMU Community website, and there's a checklist in there. So do check that out as well, guys. That will really help you with your preparations before coming to DMU. So this brings me on to a little bit more about the DMU campus. Like Emma just pointed out, that it's nice to walk around in the summer. I was thinking, Emma, what are your favourite things about the DMU campus?
Like I said, it's all on one site. I know some universities you have some that have separate sites, like satellite sites, and you have to get a bus, which traffic, you could be late to lectures. So having things in a nice walk. Town is literally, or the city centre, sorry, because I'm local, I call it town. The city centre is literally 5-10 minute walk away. So if you want to go into the city centre after lectures or on a night out, it's just really great. Especially if you're commuting. So I live just outside of the city centre. I commute in, so I actually use the park and ride, and that's every 15 minutes. It drops you off about 5-minute walk from DMU, which is really good. So having those links, it's cheap. It's £3 for a day ticket, which is actually a lot cheaper now than the parking and cheaper than some of the buses. So, using that, you've got the hospital hopper. So if you have placements that are in the hospital or one of the 3 main hospitals, the hospital hopper stops outside of them. And they have just launched a new bus service that goes around the outside of town or to the main bits called Hop, and that's free. So, utilise all those things.
No, really, really handy. We are definitely good on the transport links there. What about you, Sana? What sort of things do you like about the campus?
I think definitely it's just appealing. Like the way that the buildings are, the way that it's set out. Like it's a genuinely nice place to be. So even if I don't feel motivated to come in, I do definitely like being on campus. There's always something going on. It's always so active. And even like Emma said, it's literally a 5-10 minute walk from town city centre. I did the same thing. So even if I do have errands, if there's something that I need to do, I can just go do it. I also have placement as well on my course, and all the placements are always based on close proximity to the uni. So if you are thinking of moving out, then you will be so close to your placement, and there's always so many ways that you can get there, like you said, the bus, or like even in walking distance or anything. So I think that's good. Yeah.
Brilliant. That's great. So moving on about a bit more about study areas on campus. Sana, I was wondering what were some of your favorite study spots on campus to really get your head into things?
Yeah, so for me, so obviously the library is a big main one, which everyone talks about, but there's actually a building next door to the library called Eric Wood Building, and that's honestly my favorite building to go to if I have to put my head down and get my work done, because if I sit with my friends or anyone on my course, I will just talk regardless of deadlines, regardless of anything. So if I do need to go in there, I'll grab myself coffee, I'll grab myself everything I need, and I'll just sit there, and it's a nice, quiet study space where I can just sit and focus. But another one for me as well is the Vijay Patel building. It's such a nice building, and it's so massive, and there's always something going on. So if I do want to kind of have a more like a chilled group study session with my friends, and I can just go sit, and there's so many different spaces, and it's just a really nice place to be, basically.
Great stuff. So Sana just mentioned our library there, and on the topic of that and the study areas on campus, and we've actually got a video of the tour of the library to share with you now.
Hi everyone, I'm Anif, a third year student from the Faculty of Health and Life Sciences. Let's see what DMU Library has to offer you. Come with me. Welcome to Kimberlin Library, our main campus library, and it's open 24 hours. Let's have a look around the ground floor. Over on our right is our leisure reading collection. Come, let's check it out. Most of the things you're going to need for your studies are going to be on the other floors of the library, but these kind of books are for a more relaxing read. There are PCs on every floor of the library, and on this floor you can borrow laptops as well from the blue lockers. If you have group assignments or you want to work with your friends, you can book out a syndicate room. This is the Centre for Learning and Study Support. Come, let's check it out. Here, anyone can get support with study skills such as referencing, researching and essay writing. There's also the Master Learning Centre, which provides one-to-one help and workshops if you need additional help on your course. That's everything on the ground floor. Before we go up, let's go down. Special collections and university archives live down here, and they're always happy to show you around. Let's have a look and see what else is here. We've got even more study spaces on this floor. We've got bookable syndicate rooms and individual study rooms. Over here we've got Kimberlin Macs and CAD enabled PCs. That's everything on this floor. Time to go up. After a long set of stairs we find here. Let's go check it out. Now we are here on the first floor where you'll find most of our book stock. You can also use library search to help find journal articles. We also have a specialist librarian for each faculty which can help you find books or information if you ever need help. That's everything on this floor. Let's go up one more. Now the second floor is a place for quiet or even silent study. So shh, make sure you keep the noise down. And since I'm already here, I think it's time for me to start working on my dissertation. Take care.
Great
I'm going to say I love the individual study rooms. I book them a lot. I book them early in the morning, there for a couple of hours, then I'm done.
That's really good. It's good to know that they're working well for people. I've seen people busy on campus at the moment because it's the exams and final assessment season. So on that topic, what are some study and revision methods that you'd recommend, Emma?
So definitely utilise your course librarians, the study skills sessions. I know they do things about revision tips and things like that. It said in that video, you can book the syndicate rooms, which is for large groups. So I can't remember how many can be in one room, but so you can do your group work. There's those individual rooms, which are just amazing. I love them. You can book out a couple of hours a day. You obviously have a limit, but yeah, they're brilliant. And just find your own way of you doing your revision. Some people listen to podcasts. Some people watch videos. I know in nursing, I like watching a good video just to try and lock down that information that I've took in from theory.
How about yourself, Sana?
So for me personally, what I do is if I know that I've got multiple deadlines, whether that be assignments or exams, I definitely prioritize based on when they're in for. So for example, if I have assignments alongside exams, which I did have last week, I'll see, what's in for first, what I have to give in first, what's going to come up first during the week. And I definitely prioritize my time according to that. And I think definitely make it as fun and interesting as you can. I know it's so easy to say that, and sometimes it's not that easy to do that because the content, I don't know, might be a bit boring. But for me, for example, I've got a module called medical science and a lot of it is anatomy, and I really struggle with anatomy. It's just memorization. But what I do is I get my friends and I get their faces and I'll just label it based on their face. So it just helps me to remember it. And for me, for that, I feel like that if you kind of personalize it to your own experiences in your own life, then you definitely have more of a better chance to remember it.
Oh, some good tips there. Nice to see you've got different methods and they're working for you well. That's great. Going to move now on to student finance sort of questions. So how do you go about budgeting and planning for your finances for the first time, Emma?
I know it can be hard because obviously like if you apply for Student Finance England funding and get the maintenance loan, you kind of get it in like a lump sum. So every couple of months you get a lump of it, and yeah, the temptation to go wild is very big. Like I said, I've come from a working environment, so where I had a monthly wage. So what I actually did was send over that lump sum to my partner, obviously someone you trust, or, or put it in a bank and keep it away, and then just took out the money each month. So like I had a monthly wage, which really helped. But especially on my course, we have something called the NHS Learning Support Fund. And if you go to that website, it says which of the health and life sciences courses are eligible for it. And that is a fund that you don't need to pay back. You get $5,000 a year. Again, that's split over every couple of months. And depending what course you do, you get an extra fee. And then obviously you've got the children's part of it if you have children. So yeah, definitely, talk to people at uni. There are people there to support you with your finances if you're struggling. Please don't be ashamed to say that, I've gone a bit wild, because everyone does. So yeah, reach out and, just sit down and have a look at your finances with bills. Don't go wild buying books, because like the library, there's loads of books and a lot are online now. So yeah.
Great. Thank you for that. How about yourself, Sana? Any tips that you can give us?
Yeah, so my course also gets the NHS Learning Fund, which is nice to have a little bit of extra every couple of months. But also as well, definitely take into account student discount. There are so many places like online retailers, even places like Student Beans and Uni Days, they always do student discount. Even like food places as well, even if it says that they don't do it. Honestly, I've been so many times to food places and be like, do you do student discount? And then they'll actually like knock off a bit of money off your bill, which is really nice. But even definitely be like strategic with where you're buying your stuff from. Like for example, ASOS, they do like a constant year-round student discount. I think it's either 10 or 20%, and they have literally everything like clothes, skincare, hair stuff, whatever you basically need. And I feel like if you just get all your stuff from there, it's really good because you get that student discount. So yeah.
Lovely, great tips there. I wish I'd had them when I was a student. I think I definitely needed them. So I'm going to ask you now, as a bit of a stranger question, but see what you say. I'm going to see what surprised you the most about DMU student life, Emma.
So what surprised me was the community, because everyone who comes to you, when you say you're going to university, you think of students from college. So definitely having that community. I mean, I'm a mature student and I thought, oh my word, I'm going to be one of the older ones. But it wasn't the case. There's people that are older than me, there's people that are younger than me, and actually I don't notice the difference. So just having that community around you, how welcoming everyone is. When I've walked onto campus, people just smile at you, just give you a nod or a hello. I don't know them, but you see that they've got the lanyard on and they've got the DMU badge. It's just nice having that hello, or someone just saying how's your day when you're grabbing some food. So yeah, definitely the expectations of uni life and just being a mature student, it was just surprising because I just thought, I'll be on my own, but no, I've got friends for life.
Oh, that's lovely to hear. How about yourself, Senna? How about you? What surprised you the most?
I think for me is before you start university, you kind of have this really like scary thing thinking, oh my god, if I don't do well, I'm gonna get kicked out, or I'm gonna like not amount to anything or whatever. But honestly, like for my course especially, my tutors and my lecturers are just some of the nicest, most caring people ever. If you ever have a question, if you ever are struggling with anything, if you feel like you're ever going to fail an exam, they spend so much time You can literally talk to any of them, just tell them all your worries, and then they'll accommodate so well to you, and they'll take you as a student, as an individual into consideration, which I really liked. Like even like my course is not that small. I think it's about 30 of us, but even still, it's like every single lecturer knows us as an individual. You know, we're not just our student number. So it's just really nice to kind of have that good relationship between you and your lecturers.
That's a really good point, and really nice to hear that you feel supported. But like, there are no stupid questions as such. If you have questions or you are struggling, then do get in touch. That's what we've got all our departments for. So no, that's a really good point. Thank you very much, both. Thanks for sharing those experiences. I really want to encourage the audience at home to start popping questions and comments in the chat there. This is what Emma and Sana are here for. They're here to answer any of your questions today. So I'm going to bring up some questions now. And we're going to go through some questions for you. So, first question, can you join multiple sports clubs or societies, and is there a cost? Emma?
I believe you can, yeah. I think some do have a cost. I believe it's £2. Some might say different, but if you go on the De Montfort Uni Student Union webpage and go to I think it might be groups. We'll have to check that. But if you go through all the different tabs, you will find the societies where you can see there's loads of different societies. And you can click on them and it will say the cost. Obviously, you won't be able to buy the membership yet until the next academic year. But, have a look at those. And yeah, I'm sure you can join different sports clubs. I know a few that are on different ones. So, yeah, go for it.
Thank you. Sana, are you part of any societies or clubs or anything?
I am not, because placement takes up a lot of my time. But at the start of the year, a lot of the societies were giving kind of taster sessions. So I tried it was like a skiing one, and we went to Snowdome, which was really fun. I didn't join, but it was just a really fun trip to actually go on and just try it out and things. And I think I tried like a swimming one as well, but I just don't have the time. But you can definitely try it out before you even buy the membership, which is really nice. So yeah,
that's a really good point. And you have that in Freshers Week, and you get the opportunity to for the Freshers Fair and everything to speak to societies and sports clubs and to try them out themselves. It's good to note that as well, that if there isn't a society that you want, if you wanted to set up your own society, if something didn't fit, then also the Students' Union will support you in setting up that society as well. So the world is your oyster, really. You could set up anything. It could be a very niche subject. As long as you've got a certain amount of people, you can set up that society. So I'm sure there'll be something to fit everyone, definitely. Next question then, I'm going to bring it up now, is about groceries. So what grocery shops are close by to the accommodation? Is there a market nearby, and how long does it take to get there? Sana?
So a lot of the accommodation is like quite close to campus, maybe like a 2 to 5 minute walk maybe. And there's just so many supermarkets. There's a Tesco, like a giant Tesco. There is a Lidl, and there's a couple like Tesco Expresses and like co-ops and things like that. So there's just so many different options, and they're all so close to any university accommodation. So yeah, and also in the city centre, there is the market where they sell like loads of different like fruit and veg and things, and the prices are really good. So yeah,
definitely. And as Sana said before, it's worth talking to people, asking for student discounts, because you never know what if you don't ask, you don't get. Isn't it? So definitely, that's great. Next question, we're going to go on to tips of how to get out of your comfort zone to make it easier. Emma.
So I've got a really good one. So yeah. My tip is, I joined doing this, so doing the live streams and doing the open days via Unitemps. So I'm called a faculty ambassador. So I'm a faculty ambassador for nursing, and that was to get me out of my comfort zone. Because when I joined, it was during COVID. I hadn't been on campus, and I wanted to earn a little bit of money. And because it was just very, very flexible around placement and things like that. I joined on a whim, and I just wanted to get out there and show my passion for my subject, which is learning disability nursing. And one way to do that was to get me out of my comfort zone, because to believe it or not, to begin with, I can be quite quiet. So yeah, just taking that leap and joining uni temps, doing a little part-time job, joining the societies, like we mentioned, going on the tasters. You'll see people from different courses. So yeah, to do things like that get you out your comfort zone. Go on the nights out. Go to student union nights. Do whatever where you feel comfortable, but that pushes you out of that zone.
Lovely, thanks, Emma. How about you, Sana? Any top tips?
So I'm sure on nursing as well that they do this, but we have a yearly event called IP, I think, and it's basically, it mixes loads of different health and life science students. So we have like our students, we have nursing, I think we have paramedicine, audiology, and it was a bit boring because it was just like a lot of information, but it was just really fun just having all these different students from different courses. And you put on a table of just like a whole mix of group of students, and it was just really nice to just talk to people and just really nice to just hear about them. And because you're never kind of with other people, especially if your timetable is quite packed, like I know ours is, so a lot of the time you're just with your course a lot of the time. So this event was actually quite fun, and I did meet a couple of audiology students and made friends with some paramedicine students, which was really nice, because I don't think I'd ever have the opportunity to actually sit and talk to them. So that was nice.
Oh, great stuff. Well, unless we've got any more questions, I don't think we do from the audience there. I've got a bit of a quiet audience today, but thank you so much for joining us today. We really hope that you found this live stream helpful and that you're actually really looking forward to coming to DMU and being part of the DMU community. If there's questions that we haven't answered for you today, we haven't covered things, or you've got things to discuss privately, then do email our inquiry line. So it's inquiry@dmu.ac.uk. Please don't hesitate to do that. There are lots of ways that you can come and visit on campus, like we mentioned before, speak to our lecturers and come and meet our current students. So we have open days, we have campus tours that take place regularly. All the information about that is back on our open days website that's just being shown now, and also on the Your DMU Community site as well. And they've got applicant taster sessions. We've got lots and lots of things coming up. So do please keep in touch and keep an eye on that page for that information. So lastly, I just want to say thank you to Emma and Sana. Thank you so much for being honest and sharing your experiences about DMU here, and for helping out the current, the potential students that are going to be joining us. Thank you everyone for tuning in, and we hope to see you at DMU in the future. We do have a question actually before we leave. We want to make sure that we've got something. So, here you go. So thanks for joining us today, Solu. So what is the cost of living like? Emma, did you want to?
Yeah, I think it's like everywhere else. It can be tough. So obviously, when you think of applying, do sit down and look at your finances. Look at what if you're coming in accommodation, how much the cost is. Be savvy. Use your student discounts. I have to say, Leicester is within the living costs of other places like London. I was talking to somebody yesterday, and they were saying about they looked at a university in London, and they told me the living cost between London and here, and we are we are cheaper than London by a lot. So obviously everyone is having that cost of living at the minute, and the rises. So just be savvy, use those student discounts. There is, if you are finding that you are falling on hard times, there are those different funds out there, and DMU have some. So, please, reach out to DMU for help, and, they can help you the best they can.
Lovely. Sana, do you have anything to add before we finish?
Yeah, so I think for me, generally, when I think of cost of living, I think of grocery and food shops. So, but definitely DMU definitely have loads of different alternatives and loads of different things they've introduced. Like, for example, they have free breakfast, actually. And I know loads of students who just don't want to buy things. They'll literally just roll up to uni in the morning, and then they'll get free breakfast, which is really nice. That's been running for a couple of months. And I definitely think be really responsible when you do go to the grocery shop. When you're doing it, I think just make a list of what you actually need so things don't go to waste. And yeah, definitely it's good to just budget everything, have everything written down, and just know exactly, what's coming out of your bank account every month. Like if you have subscription services, if you have your mobile phone plan, if you have Spotify or something, just so you just kind of know what's actually coming out every single month, instead of looking at your bank account and it being a shock, thinking, I don't know when I signed up for that. Also with like things such as like leisure things like gyms and things, a lot of accommodations actually have gyms and stuff. So if you do want to join, then you can use their gyms for free, which is like a good thing because gyms are quite expensive. So yeah.
Great stuff. Thank you so much for that. And so thank you for your question. Hopefully that's answered it. But as we said, any further questions, do go to that inquiry email address. Well, thank you very much for tuning in. That's it from us now. We're going to leave you to it and hopefully see you at DMU very, very soon. Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye.
Hearing my name read out and walking across that stage just reminded me of how far I've come since stepping foot at DMU. DMU changed me, changed my life. This university gave me my identity, the friends I've made, the lessons I've learned, the degrees I've got, and it's made me who I am. DMU has provided me with so many opportunities, and I don't just mean my degrees. I'm proud of those. I have 4, but I mean the life skills, going to New York and dancing on Times Square. I'd never thought I'd do that. Going to India and teaching dance. Learning languages. I've learned 3 new languages since I've come to DMU. Volunteering hours, work experience. So these are the life skills that I've gained that I'm going to need to get on and carry on making the life that I want for myself. And if it wasn't for DMU, I probably wouldn't have done any of this. Going to Dubai was, again, another life-changing experience that I got because of DMU. I got to speak there. It's been a good experience. I've loved learning here because the lecturers that I've had all have industry experience. It's been nice because you know that they know what they're talking about. The student union elections have been a highlight for me because they were different, they were interesting. I managed to win an election during the pandemic, and I think for me that's a win that I'm very, very proud of. Graduation was emotional. My father was sat across me on that stage, and 8 years ago he came and dropped me here. He said to me, just believe in yourself and you'll be able to do it. And I did. And 8 years later, seeing him across me on stage, it was special because it felt like life doing a full circle. When people say that they don't know where home is, for me this is home. I came here as a 20-year-old girl, and 8 years later I'm still here, and the journey hasn't stopped. The journey is still ongoing. This is home. This is where I grew up.